Hey, welcome back. This is Shelley, your food relationship coach from eatrelatelove.com, and you're tuned in to Q&A Thursday. Today's Q comes from one of our readers, and it says, I read your blog, and I know that you speak about your own experience of recreating your relationship with food. And you also talk about universal laws and your spirituality. What are techniques to include a spiritual approach to your food relationship? That's really an excellent question. I think a lot of times when we embark on self-development and personal growth, we tend to sort of have this order, right? Here are 10 ways that you can do this, and if you use this system, you can be the best person ever. And sometimes spirituality is not always part of that equation. No matter whether you're Christian or Muslim or Jewish or Hindu or Buddhist or Yoruba, like insert religion, spirituality, culture here, you can always have an approach that includes and honors your creator and your beliefs. So for starters, I look at food from a spiritual perspective already because it is natural and it is a gift from the creator. It is something that is created for our nourishment and for our enjoyment. And so giving thanks is really, really important. And I know in a lot of traditions, people may say prayer or a few words or so before they actually have your meal, and that's huge because what you're actually doing is, I know at some points it gets to be routine, like, okay, God is good, God is great, right? But it gets to be a point where you sort of sometimes separate yourself, but when you really, really give thanks, what you're saying is, I honor you and I thank you because I know that part of your existence is also for me. And I see how we're linked. I see how we're connected. And I see how I am you and you are me. And yes, I'm talking about the hamburger on your plate. I am you and you are me. And you know that when you take it in, it's going to benefit your body. It's going to give you what you need. So that's one. Two, what I also do is I envision the relationship that I want to have and who I want to be in that relationship. And I'm not just talking about my relationship with food. I'm also talking about my relationship with my boyfriend. I'm talking about my relationship with my clients. I'm talking about the relationship that I have with my body and being authentic in that. Being fully present and constantly aware of the emotions that come up. And guess what? Food is extremely emotional. Like we have an emotional attachment. There are memories attached to the food. And so it's also honoring that and in that place envisioning what type of relationship you want to have. And just bask in the feeling that accompanies that. The feeling that accompanies that relationship, the whether it's feelings of love or feelings of security or feelings of goodness and wholeness. So you bask in that. Let that feeling become who you are. So your relationship with food sort of shifts. And there's a consciousness that you're now bringing to the dinner table rather than just your belly and whatever hunger you're trying to feed. And the third thing I would say is the practice, which is very much part of a Buddhist tradition, but the practice of being mindful and present, right? Like really, really, really being there, right there with your plate of food when you're eating. And I know that we eat in social situations, and I know that we tend to go out, but it doesn't mean that you can't be present with the food. And present can be as simple as each time you take a bite, like really, really take the time to savor, to enjoy it. I have this friend, she's so cute, and when she eats, she literally takes a piece, like a piece of a bite, and enjoys it. There's something to be said about that, because when you're literally spending time with your dish, with your food, whatever you're eating, and you're literally appreciating each bite, then there's a relationship that you're building. There's a connection. So when it's done, it's not like, oh man, that was so good, I wish I had some more. It's like, wow, give thanks. That was really, really yummy, and I appreciate, what it did for my body. Making those simple and small, they're simple and small, but making those shifts are very, very powerful in recreating the food relationship that you want to see. Thank you so much for that question. It was really, really powerful. While it's not always the easiest conversation to have, talking about spirituality and its approach and how we grow and evolve in our lives is very, very important. You've been watching Shelley Chapman, your food relationship coach from eatrelatelove.com, and this has been Q&A Thursday. As always, you can please send your Q's so I can give you an A, hopefully that makes sense, to schapman@interiorbeauty.com, right there. Or you can get in touch with me from Facebook, Twitter, contact me on the blog, the website, eatrelatelove.com. Take care. I'll see you next week.